Hi, Joe. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today, we will be exploring how Inflow and DailyPay are working together to streamline workforce management while giving employees greater control over their earnings. My name is Katie O'Han. I'm a customer success manager here at Inflow. I'm also joined by Josh Gibbs, who's a senior product manager of labor management. And we're thrilled to be joined by two fantastic guest speakers from the DailyPay team. We have Kyle McClure, who's Senior Manager of Marketing Programs, and then Tara McMillan, who is a Senior Franchise Brand Manager, and they will be walking you through today's webinar. We will have a portion of the call at the end dedicated to questions. So if you have them throughout the webinar, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and we will answer those at the end of the call. I think we're ready to get started. Thank you again all for being here. I'll pass it over to the DailyPay team.
Thank you so much, Katie. And we are very happy to be here. We love our partnership with Inflow. Very excited to get this webinar kicked off. And I am Tara McMillan. I'm Senior Franchise Brand Partnership Manager. As Katie just mentioned, I've been with DailyPay about 4 years. And I'm very, very happy to be here and be able to talk to you about how you can help your employees get better understanding of their earnings and more importantly, get ahead of the game instead of being behind the game. I'm going to let Kyle introduce himself and then we'll take it from there.
Hey everyone. Couldn't have said it better myself as Tara did. Super excited to be here today and super excited about our partnership with Inflow and the relationship that we have there. And again, like Tara said, right, we want to make sure that employees have greater financial control and keep them ahead of the game, not behind. Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about financial freedom for employees, right? These are our daily workers out in the world that are keeping all of the organizations that we all rely on a day-to-day basis going. And how can we make sure, again, that they're staying ahead of the game? Today we'll talk about, what financial stress really looks like in the workplace for employees. And then we'll get a little bit into, what the Daily Pay offering has to offer a tailored offering for each step of that financial wellness journey. We'll take a look at some basic pricing, how Daily Pay works, and really just making sure that we're putting your employees there in the first spot. And to get us kicked off here, just to kind of set the tone for what we're really talking about, we wanted to show this video about with our user testimonials, right? So we really want to make sure that we're staying, with the employee at the center of our focus here. And I think this video will do a good job of keeping us there.
First time that I used Daily Pay was Christmas. When I was going out to eat with a couple of friends, I had literally just paid a bunch of bills off. I had bills that I needed to pay, so I didn't know where to turn. Then I remembered that my company had said that they recently contracted with Daily Pay. I remember I probably had $5 on my bank account, something like that, and I pull into a gas station wondering how I'm going to fill my tank up, and I checked out Daily Pay, I signed up, and within probably 30 seconds of signing up, I did the instant transfer and I immediately had money in my bank account. Right when I downloaded DailyPay, I realized that I could access my money the minute I clocked off, which was amazing. So I just gathered all my money and then I paid off my credit card bill like 4 weeks before the actual date, and that boosted my score amazingly, and it still boosted to this day. It made me feel more control of my money. And it's when I need to get paid, not when the company's going to pay me. It was so nice and just so relieving knowing that just whenever I needed money, I could just take the money that I'd earned even before I had my paycheck and just transfer it directly to my bank account. Whenever it's an emergency, Daily Pay is your go-to. I want to say thank you to my employer for contracting Daily Pay. And I want to say thank you to Daily Pay.
Awesome. So we've heard a little bit about from our users, their experience, and we want to go ahead and pose kind of our first poll question of the day. Whether it's, from back in the day when we were younger, or maybe it's today too, which one of those experience resonates most with you? Or which one of those experiences is something that maybe your employees are coming to you with? Is it like, hey, I need gas money to be able to get to work. I need to be able to pay bills before my payday. Or just that general feeling of uneasiness. Do I even have enough money to cover this bill at the restaurant? So go ahead and pick one of those options there. Let us know which one resonates best with you or which one you might even be hearing about from your employees. Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, we're seeing these results up here. Number one, definitely being needing to pay bills before payday. And we've heard that story so many times, which is why, we bring this up today, right? The paycheck cycle and the bill due date cycle, they don't always line up. So what do you do in that intermediary, right? The Wi-Fi bill isn't going to have much sympathy if your payday isn't for a few more days. And needing extra money at the gas pump. That's another one that we hear really commonly as well. Even just to be able to get to work, right? To be able to do those very day-to-day tasks. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for filling that out there. So with that in mind, right, what does that financial stress actually translate to when someone is in the workplace? Now more than ever, employees are asking for financial wellness benefits, specifically from their employer. We're seeing that employers are saying that their employees are turning to them for these different kinds of offerings. And why might that be? Because 65% of folks are living paycheck to paycheck. More than half, 59% there. They say they don't have enough of savings to cover an unexpected $1,000 emergency expense. And that's pretty big. And a $1,000 emergency expense could be new tires. It could be an unexpected medical bill, right? And then looking at that last stat there, almost 80% of people experienced at least one bill increase in 2024. So we're seeing that cost of living continue to rise. That's not helping the situation any better. And so as we do think about, what's being offered at your company, at your operation currently, what are the benefits that are most used or that are most adopted by your employees? Thinking about how they are looking to employers for financial wellness programs or even mental wellness programs. Let us know which one of these is the most adopted as you think about which benefits folks are using most.
And if you don't have any of those above, that's okay too. We understand that not a lot of small businesses don't necessarily offer 401k, healthcare, HSA, FSA. Not a problem. We're just curious to know who does. And it sounds like the most adopted is going to be healthcare. So I'm checking the Slack or the webinar chat as we go along, Kyle, to make sure we're answering people's questions as we go too.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that, Tara. And as we do ask this question out here, this is what we're kind of getting at, right? We're seeing that daily pay is the most adopted benefit, really only second to healthcare benefits across organizations. We've had 32% of daily pay clients rank the benefit as their most adopted employee benefit offering. So we're seeing that come ahead of 401k, flexible schedules, other wellness programs involved. So really great to see that this is actually something that people are using even much more ahead of those other benefits that we might typically see as well. Awesome. So as we do get into, beyond the paycheck, what does the financial wellness solution look like for different employees? And I'll go ahead and turn it over to Tara to talk us through a little bit.
All right. So I see Joe's already very engaged and wants to know more about this. So, Joe, hold on to your horses. We got you covered. We're going to be answering everything for you. And Misty, I answered your question. Again, I understand that, you're not doing it are a lot of things, but this is a great way for you. And what Daily Pay does is it's a long-term financial success for the employee. For the employer, it's going to help you all with recruitment, retention. It's going to help you, get your employees to actually understand. And if you're using this through another system, which it looks like, Ashley, you guys are, what great is that we do directly integrate with Inflow. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you a little bit about why Daily Pay and what the importance is. So if you noticed, we are not only the platform that our competitors do, which is take money and go, right? So a lot of them, it's that on demand. We are the leading one. We have over 6 million eligible users right now, over 1,000, I think it's 1,200 companies that are utilizing us, including Hilton. So Hilton brands are all utilizing us, which is great. On top of that, within the system, we can offer you to push rewards to your employees. We offer your employees financial counseling. And by the way, did I mention for you guys as owner operators, you all are able to get this for free. We do not charge you anything. So, boom, cat's out of the bag, no costs. Your employees are also going to be able to see their credit score, get their credit health, have a better understanding of what that means. We have perks now. So they download Daily Pay, they get perks. They actually see I can save money on my cell phone bill, or I can save money on insurance. We have a Daily Pay Visa debit card that is free to the employee. The employee can choose to have that. It's a mobile wallet or it's a hard card. And within that card, they are going to get cashback rewards. So again, you're giving things to your employees. Daily Pay is giving things for free. We're not charging them anything at this point. They also can have saving jars so they can start putting money away. And if you have any international employees, if you have employees that have families overseas, they can do international transfers. And it's a much lower cost than it would be if they were to go to a different company to use this, right? So let's talk about what this means. So we've got some different individuals, right? So you got the best fit for Daily Pay products. You got the wary warrior. Now I want to think about this. Who is the wary warrior? Kyle, talk about the wary warrior for me.
Absolutely. The weary warrior is the one who's out there, they're grinding, they're showing up to work, they're picking up extra shifts because they need that money on a day-to-day basis. And what's available for them within Daily Pay? They've got on-demand pay for those transfers. They've got a prepaid card. Maybe they don't have a bank account, and this is a really good way for them to start using a debit card. They're getting rewards, and they can do international transfers to send money to loved ones overseas if needed.
And what about the financial fighter, Kyle? What do we got there?
The fighters, they're one step ahead. They're thinking about savings, right? They think, I've got a goal. I want to take this vacation with my family for the weekend. And they're looking towards saving for that goal and getting those cashback rewards as well, while starting to monitor their credit health too.
And how about the Sunny starters?
The Sunny starters, they're in a little bit of a similar position. They're a little bit ahead on their savings. They're still thinking about goals, and maybe they have a family too. We're seeing them be able to still have products in Daily Pay that are working for them.
And what's a determined dreamer? Because I think I fall into that bucket.
The determined dreamer, I think you fall into that bucket too, is really when we're thinking about a later step of the financial journey. We're starting to think about maybe I can start putting money into my 401k. I'm still monitoring my credit health. Maybe I'm seeing my credit go up, and I'm making even greater goal-based savings at this point as well.
Awesome. And as you guys see at the bottom there too, it's for all income levels. We've heard stories from HR managers, they're using it and they're on salaries and they're making six figures, right? We're hearing about those that are under $40,000 that are needing it just to get groceries for their families. So there's a range of users. It's not just specific individuals that are utilizing us. So now we're going to do another poll because we got to keep you guys engaged. We are going to ask you, which employee persona represents you? We want to have an idea who we're talking to on this call. So we're giving you 30 seconds. Get that filled out. Let's see where we're at. I'd sing for y'all, but we'll keep this professional.
We can't throw any tips at you. That's why.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm wearing my pineapples. I got my DailyPay pineapples on. Life is good. Life is sweet.
It is. It is.
All right, Katie, what are we looking at? Ooh, we got a whole mix on here.
Excellent. That is a big mix. And we saw those different personas and the main point to drive home in all of this is that there is something within Daily Pay for each of these personas, right? When we think about a financial wellness journey, some people might be starting, some people might be that determined dreamer who's further ahead, but we got your back every step of the way.
Yes. So let's talk about what this means. So first of all, employees enrolled in DailyPay, we have these stats. We collect stats like there's no tomorrow. Lower turnover. You will see a decrease in turnover for employees that enroll in DailyPay. Now, when we say enroll, that means they just signed up for the app and they're looking at it. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're taking a transfer. They may never have taken a transfer, but they now have access into how much money they are earning throughout the pay period. On top of that, they're happier employees. So think about yourselves, right? Now you have access, you can have a better understanding of how much each shift I am actually making and taking home. So you're going to see that. And Joe, I know those were some of your questions, looking back at your earnings and everything, right? So now we've got this. So now they're happier. You're giving more control to your employees to have a better understanding of what does the work mean to them. On top of that, you're going to get more engagement. Your employees are going to want to pick up shifts. They have a better idea. They're going to do less calling off. So it's really going to help you guys. So you got reduced absenteeism, improved time clock. If they don't clock in and out, guess what? They don't see a balance go up. So they're not going to see that. And also lower employment replacement costs. So think of the ROI. Again, earlier I told you this is a no-fee product. We're not charging you guys for this. We've partnered with Inflow. No fees. Great to you. So it's an automatic ROI for you. So how does it work? First and foremost, there's no changes to your cash flow. We work with over 180 different payroll systems. We obviously integrate directly with Inflow, which is awesome on the time system. And we're good to go, right? So no problems there. No changes to the payroll process. So DailyPay, as I mentioned before, the no changes to cash flow. DailyPay is funding any transfers. We fund the remainder. There's no deductions going on. So Ashley, I know you're already using something. There's no deductions. We're not going to change the pay stub at all. Everything stays the same. It is the accurate view of the employee income. What this means is that when you use a deduction model, which we are not, the employee has that deduction, whatever money they are taking out of their pay, shows as a deduction on their pay stub. That means that their net pay is lower than what it should be. This can be a problem for employees when they go to get a car loan, when they go to get an apartment, when they're showing proof of income. A lot of finance people, I was one, worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, I sold cars. I looked at that stuff. I did not look at their deductions. I looked at what do they have available to pay me back? Can they afford this car? So very important. Again, we are going to look at a dynamic advance rate. So what that means is every individual has different taxes. They have different benefits taken out. We calculate based on the last 3 pay periods what that in specific employee's income and net pay is. So I'm picking on Katie because I know a bunch of you know her. So we're going to say Katie has wage garnishments, benefits, and family. So she takes home 60%. Josh is just him single self. He got nothing. He just got taxes being taken out. He's taking home 90%. They work the same amount of hours. They get paid the same gross, but Katie's going to see only 60% of what she actually is earning, and that is what she's taking home. She gets to see that. Josh has a better understanding of what he takes home every shift because he is going to see 90%. So if they both made $100, Katie's seeing 60, Josh is seeing 90. Instant transfers. We allow for transfers to any bank account or any card. Now, we talked about the DailyPay Visa card, free transfers to that card. If an employee is making a transfer, and we'll talk through this in a second, there is a minimal cost, which we'll get to. Again, we do have $0 transfer fees available for every type of pay destination. We are uninterrupted for customer service. Think about this, 365 days, 24/7, your employees can reach out to us via chat, via email, via phone, and they can have a conversation about what's going on in their DailyPay app. And again, we want to help the employees with wellness, financial wellness. We want to give them the tools and a better understanding of how do I pay my bills on time? What is the best way for me to do this? How do I get ahead of the game? 4 free financial counseling sessions are included when an employee downloads and enrolls in DailyPay. Whew. Anybody else tired? All right.
There's a lot of value in everything you just said there. Those are all really important pieces. And as we look at pricing and what that fee structure looks like, as Tara mentioned, there are multiple $0 transfer options. You can do an instant transfer to your DailyPay card if you sign up for that, or you can do a next day transfer for $0, right? Think about like a Venmo or PayPal. You can do that next day transfer and get that for no dollars. The only fee that comes in is that $3.49 for an instant transfer to that destination bank account. And that can go anywhere. That could be your Bank of America bank account. That could be your Wisely Pay card if you've got that, whatever that might look like. So that can really go to wherever the employee wants. And like Tara said, no implementation costs, no ongoing program fees, and no impact to the company cash flow. These are the only fees that you will see related with DailyPay.
That's awesome, Kyle. So you're telling me their employees can not only transfer money next day for no fee, if they choose the DailyPay card, they can do instant transfers for no fee, and then with that card, they get cash back rewards?
That's right, exactly.
Whew. Man, we're giving away the farm to you guys. I love it.
Exactly.
All right.
Remember, no cost to the employer either.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're giving away the farm. All right. So again, how does it work? It's very simple. The employee is going to voluntarily enroll. So we are going to give you all marketing material to put up in your locations. So any of your hotels, you can put them up. You can put them up in staff bathrooms if you want. We always recommend that. It's a great way. They're going to be able to go on. There's a QR code if you notice in the middle there, and also on the poster. They're going to click on that with their little camera. They're going to be able to download it, and they are going to have access to DailyPay. It is that simple. That is it. Once they have access, they will be able to see how much money they're earning every time they clock in and clock out. Their balance is going to go up. I'll tell you right now, I have DailyPay, and what's really cool is that I actually am able to get an alert. I do. I get an alert every night that says, your DailyPay balance has gone up. And I'm like, woohoo! I feel like I'm a competitor, so I feel like I've won the day, right? So it kind of gives you that extra feeling. So I think we got one more poll question coming, except we got to talk through the options that DailyPay offers. So Kyle, can we jump to that slide there?
Yeah, Katie, how we doing on time here? We got time for this one too?
Yeah, absolutely. We have 19 more minutes, so we're definitely good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So DailyPay offers many things other than on-demand pay. We're going to offer an off-cycle program to you. Once you're up and running on DailyPay, we'll talk you through what the cycle product does. That allows, if you are in a state that has to pay somebody immediately, say that within 24 hours or within 3 days, we have the tool to help you. We also have a success hub. So you guys will have access as admins to see, what are people doing with this? Who's using it? How are they using it? How many people are using it? We give you all those stats. We walk you through all that. We also are going to, if you want, we can add DailyPay tips. For any of you on the call that may have restaurants, we can do tips as long as it's being entered into the system. So again, I know most of you on here using Inflow for hospitality, get that. We do offer a tip program if that's something. And again, we talked a little bit before on the rewards. So with the reward program, if you want to start giving little bonuses to people for one, showing up, for two, having a great attitude, because that sometimes can kind of, you know, help out with people around them. Attitude sometimes is very contagious, I've been told. So this is one of the things that we can do too, is we can offer rewards. And DailyPay funds all these stuff. And then you pay us back. So you're not having to put money into a bucket to have to pay everything. So let's talk through this. Let's go to the poll, Katie. Which admin benefit would your company benefit from the most? So we talked about cycle, we talked about tips, we talked about reward. Let's see who has what and who's thinking outside the box maybe of what their company could be doing.
I know what my vote is, but I'll wait for the results to come through.
If you're payroll and you have to pay off-cycle payments a lot, we know where we're going with that. If you're like Kyle and you need that pat on the back every once in a while, well, money doesn't hurt.
A little money for baby covering that shift last minute that somebody had to call off for. Right.
There we go. All right, cycle. We got some cycle, we got reward. All right, awesome. Well, we are happy to talk to all of you, and any of you, when this call is over, feel free, reach out to Katie. She can help schedule a call with us. And from there, we got a few more things, Kyle, I think. We just got to wow them a little bit more.
I think so. Well, I'll wow you with this one. I used to be a client manager here at DailyPay a couple years ago, and cycle was the #1 thing. For those immediate pay states on termination, some people had to print a paper check and then overnight it for $35. Cycle comes at a much, much cheaper cost and is all done online. So remember that, getting rid of those paper checks.
Yep.
Awesome. We've gone through our marketing and communication tools. Our team is here to really make sure that we're able to communicate the benefit out so that employees know what's coming and they know how to use it. And what does it really mean to put your employees first, right? This is a little bit of a brag slide for us in terms of some different awards that we've won. We continue to partner with payroll systems, timekeeping systems across the entire ecosystem here. We create seamless integration, and that's really where these awards come from, right? Being able to be an innovative partner and an earned wage access or on-demand pay leader. And we continue to hear from our users as well, testimonials, right? Like we heard in the very beginning of this presentation, a true game changer. It's hard to stretch 2 weeks between paydays. Now I can give myself a little more breathing room if needed. Or very grateful to be able to take care of my family and have a little peace of mind that the money's there just in case. So always putting the employee first and really making sure that we can just take a brick or two out of the backpack that they've got on.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, I think we threw a lot at them in a short amount of time. I'm hoping everybody retained a little bit. But Josh and Katie, we are available for some questions. And I know there's been some webinar chat going on the side. I've been keeping an eye on that. Ashley and Joe have been very involved. Joe, did we answer all your questions? I hope so.
And I can jump in real quick too. Ashley had asked, are they able to access this within the Inflow mobile app eventually? I assume you mean the mobile app, Ashley. You can type in the chat over there. But if you do mean the mobile app, not today. The goal is we want to see how this program gets adopted, and then any and all data exchange between the two systems is on the table. But I believe today, Tara, keep me honest, is they can access that same information through DailyPay, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome.
And the DailyPay app is very easy to use.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
It
we got a
looks like
question.
we have, yeah, go ahead, Tara.
So Sharon's asking a good question. How does this work on the employer side? So we integrate directly with the payroll system. And we're going to pull net earnings, Sharon. So we'll be pulling that. Then obviously we integrate directly with inflow for your timekeeping. We'll be pulling that. Then what happens is when a payroll happens, you guys are going to process payroll just like you normally do. There is no change to the payroll process side. So for the employer, it's pretty much hands off. We will fund that employee when they take the transfer. We then pay the remainder of the net pay. The biggest difference is that we then get paid back through direct deposit on whatever payroll system you're in. We have changed that. The employee has agreed to us making that change in the payroll system, and we have added a DailyPay direct deposit to get the full payback. So we have made the full payment of the net pay to the employer, or sorry, to the employee. The employer processes payroll like normal, and then we get paid back through direct deposit. How do employees access their past pay stubs? Great question. So we didn't have a slide of this, but we can definitely take this offline, Joe, and have a call. But the employee will have access to see their previous pay and what they've earned through the DailyPay app. We are collecting that information from the time system. So not only are they going to see what they've earned or are earning through this pay period, they will see it through the back.
And that will also track all of the shifts that have been reported so they can see, hey, I worked yesterday, I'm seeing this in DailyPay, so they know everything is going through as well. And, we're not necessarily replacing your payroll system, right? If they do need that PDF download of their, full pay stub with deductions and everything, that we'll be able to see that in the payroll system too, but also get that secondary view in the DailyPay app for that quick check, that quick reference there.
All right, we get another question. Does DailyPay card work as a pay card? So I'm going to say yes and no to you, Ashley. The reason I say no first is that the employee has to do this voluntarily. You cannot hand it out to them. So it is not a physical card that you are handing out to them like other cards. But when the employee goes into DailyPay and signs up, they then can immediately request the DailyPay card. They get that card in a virtual form for the first week or so, and then they will be sent a actual physical card. So I hope that answered your question. It's kind of a yes and a no, just because I know sometimes companies prefer to be able to hand out that physical card, knowing that they have it, versus putting it on the employee. But that also takes it off of your hands as the employer.
Yeah, and they can use that card to receive their direct deposit too, if they want to send their direct deposit there. So to Tara's point, they can sign up for it and then get their pay there.
Mm-hmm. So Millie's got a great question, Kyle. What happens if there's a slow week and the employee, for example, a housekeeper with less rooms to clean, earns less than what was previously expected by DailyPay?
That is a good question. And really, what's expected, what that technology does is really tracking the deductions percentage and any kind of benefits percentage there, right? It may be there's a slower week for that housekeeper, but we're also tracking that because we're getting that clock in and clock out of every shift. That's how we're able to calculate that available balance for them. So it might be a slower week. Maybe last week there was a couple $100 in that balance, and maybe this week it's a little bit lower. That's all taken into consideration, right? Because we've got the shift by shift earnings coming in.
Ashley, are they able to use it before the first payroll cycle?
Yes. As soon as you have got a registered shift, clocked in, clocked out, you can use it. Sometimes it could be like 3 weeks before you get your first paycheck when you start a job. Like, what is anybody going to do in 3 weeks without a paycheck? So that's another great time for DailyPay to come in. Depending on different scenarios, maybe an employee has to pay up front for like a work uniform, right? But again, if they're just starting and they're not going to get that paycheck for a few weeks, where's that going to come from? This is a great option to be able to take care of all of that.
All right. They're slowing down.
Yes,
Slowing
amazing
down.
questions so far, everyone. Thanks so much for your engagement. Do we have any final questions for Kyle and Tara? And of course, if you have questions that come up after the call, you can always email me and I can get an answer to you very quickly. But any other questions while we have them live on today's call?
Katie, I don't see any. Oh, when can we get this rolled? Ashley, I love you.
Yes, I will be in touch with everyone after today's webinar. I'm going to include a one-pager and a link to a knowledge base article that will house this webinar, but you'll have my direct email. So feel free to respond back to me and I'll get it submitted over to the DailyPay team and someone from their side will be in touch very shortly.
And I want to see who besides Ashley is ready to go with every day is a payday with DailyPay.
Amazing.
Awesome. I feel like that may be the perfect note to end on. Oh, we do have a raised hand. So I'm gonna, oh wait, maybe not. Dorothea, did you have a question? That might have been an accident. Well, back to what I was saying. I think that's the perfect note to end on. Thank you so much, Kyle and Tara. Oh, she said she dropped something. Thank you so much for your time today. We're so excited that you all are excited as well. And again, I'll be sharing a follow-up email shortly, but we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks,
Amazing.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.